Hey guys, what is going on? It is Dennis here, and this is episode 2 of Project Merch. So I'm glad you guys enjoyed episode 1. Thanks for a lot of the constructive criticism. In this video, you'll see that there's not any video footage right now. That's because I realized it was pretty stupid to record myself because there's like no point in it at all. But yeah, throughout this video, I might put some screenshots here and there or some visuals here and there. So yeah, I wouldn't say like if I post any of that. So for the most part, you can just listen to this video. You don't have to watch it or anything. So yeah. Anyways, welcome to episode 2. This is with basic money making. It doesn't matter if you're a beginner or pro, you can still use these methods. So yeah. First and foremost, I want to give a big shout out to the great Bolshi. He's my friend. His name is Mike. He's on YouTube. That's his YouTube channel, The Great Bolshi. Basically, the reason why I'm giving him this shout out is because most of the tips in this video are going to be from his YouTube channel, from a series that he's doing, which involves money making. So, The Great Bolshi, Mike. He's a great role model, and he's very hardworking actually, and it's pretty evident. If you watch some of his Minecraft videos, you'll see that he spends hundreds of hours doing Minecraft. So yeah, he's very devoted, and he's also got a very long history as a merchant, which is pretty good. One of my favorite series from him is his Make It Back from Your Hack series, which is like basically he got hacked and he's just showing his progress week by week as he makes it back. As of now, he's actually definitely made it back. He actually just scrolled a perfected Kane for his Phantom. So yeah, definitely check out his stuff. He's really good. And yeah, thank you again, Mike, for all the tips in this money making video. There will be a link or an annotation to the Great Bolshi's YouTube channel on the screen or in the description below. So yeah, this is episode 2. In this episode, it's not going to be that much of like abstract concepts as it is more just general tips. So this video, a lot of people might just feel like skipping this video, and that's fine. But yeah, basically the first thing I need to talk about is a huge mistake that's made by beginning merchants, and it's simply like basically, well, here's the story. I was talking to my friend and I convinced him to become a merchant. So he said, okay. And the first thing he said, I already had to correct him. He said, okay, Dennis, I will become a merchant. I'm gonna go buy a mushie now. And that's already a mistake right there. And the problem with this is people know NX costs money. It's pretty damn obvious. But at the same time, they completely forget that it costs money. It sounds a little weird when I say that, but basically what I mean is they buy a shop with NX, and then they forget that the shop costs them money, so they'll just put a whole bunch of crappy items inside the store and sell those crappy items and think that they're making money, but in actuality they're losing money. So to explain this better, let's take a look at the visual on the screen. We're gonna look at the price of a mushie being 9.9k NX, and basically the ratio for NX, we're gonna look at that as a 1 to 80 ratio, which is a pretty generous ratio. In Windia, it's actually a little bit higher than that right now. But yeah, 1 through 80 ratio for the sake of simplicity. So you multiply the numbers together and divide it by 14, and the reason why is because the shop lasts for 14 days. And basically what this visual shows is this is how much it costs to maintain your store for 1 day. So again, as I said, people know NX costs money. It's pretty damn obvious, but at the same time, they forget that it costs money. The reason why I'm even mentioning this in episode 2 is, once again, when you're a beginner, you're most likely not going to have the most spectacular items. So your items are going to be more or less crappy. So if you put a whole bunch of crappy items in your mushie, you're actually losing money. And the reason for that is because this number over here shows exactly how much you actually have to make in order to break even. We're not even talking about making money yet. This is how much money you have to make in order to not lose anything, because that's how much the store costs per day. So in order to actually make money, you have to net more than this amount and some more. So yeah, basically that's why if you're a beginner, don't buy a mushie, you're just losing money. So it's something that I actually didn't know I had to say, but then I realized some people might make that mistake, so I had to mention that in episode 2. I will elaborate more about this in episode 4, which is actually the chapter that's all about mushies. It's basically everything you need to know about mushies. But for now, I just want to mention this because I don't want anybody else making this mistake. So yeah, let's take a look at the permit. Now the store permit is really the most important thing you're going to need. So it's most appropriate for me to show this picture. Now a lot of you guys are probably beginners and haven't actually bought a store permit before, so this is how I got my first one. How I got it was I did surveys on the Nexon website, and after around 2 hours I got my permit. And I also got a virus because I downloaded something. So if you want to do surveys as well, my recommendation is don't sign up for Netflix because that crap actually doesn't work. And also don't download anything because you'll get a virus just like I did. So the reason why the permit is so important is because it allows you to not only sell your items, but sell them for higher and faster. Okay, so the permit lasts for 90 days, and within those 90 days of you merchanting, you'll have learned a lot of the very important concepts. So you'll be able to make your own money and buy another permit as well as another mushi with your own mesos. Okay, so if you don't want to do surveys to get your permit, the other methods are either to ask your friends for help or to go ahead and just go buy the NX. There's no shame in it. You can buy a 10k NX code and spend the 1.7k NX on a permit, and with the rest of the NX, go ahead and save that for the future. Whew. Okay, so yeah, enough about all that. We just talked about permits and mushies and all the other crap. That's just all basic tips. Let's go ahead and talk about actual money making. So this is a personal tip of mine. It's what I did, and that would be crafting. Quite honestly, crafting is the slowest method. The reason why I'm even mentioning or recommending crafting is because I feel like not only is although it is the slowest method, I feel like it's the most solid method. And remember what I said in chapter 1 of the merch guide. We kept on talking about fuck the money. And what I mean by that is, once again, right now we are all beginners. And as beginners, what we need to remember is it's not about the money. If you have 10 mil right now and tomorrow you have 12 mil, you have succeeded. The thing is, as long as you make a little bit money, you're fine. As a beginner merchant, you need to remember that it's not about the money, because no matter what method you're using, you still don't know how to make money properly. So in that sense, the reason why I'm recommending crafting is because I feel like it's the method that taught me the most. It won't help you make the most money at first, but it will teach you the most. So crafting, there are a couple methods, and I will leave some video links on the screen. These are the video links that I actually used 2 years ago when I was a beginner. So there's fusing sneakers, there is making half earrings, and making level 40 belts. Personally, I feel like half earrings is probably the best method. It's slow, again, as I keep on saying, it is very slow, but it'll teach you the most. Now, as I said, these are videos that I used 2 years ago, so you really have to take everything in these videos with a grain of salt. Personally, I just recommend the half earrings, and yeah, there is one other method that I believe still works, and it's the method of angelic blessing rings. So basically how you do it is you get the ring, or you get the recipe in the FM, and in order to farm the ores that you need, you have to go to the evolution lab to farm them. So you get the cores and you kill the monsters, and in that sense you can train and you can obtain the cores. So the angelic blessing recipes still work, but the other things are a little bit outdated. Half earrings can still probably work, but I would not recommend the sneakers and the level 40 belt, even if I am providing the links right now. Not exactly the best, but if you want to do it, the option is there. Okay, so moving away from half earrings, the next method is Gollux, and Gollux is a boss that was actually very recently implemented into the game. This is a tip that's from the Great Bolshi's YouTube channel, so here's a link to his video that'll explain it. My take on this thing is basically, Gollux is a very reliable method, and doesn't matter if you're really strong or really weak, Gollux is always very good. If you are really pro, you can actually do Hell Mode Gollux. It gives you a lot of money. Or if you're a really weak person, you can still do Easy Mode Gollux. It still makes actually really good money. I'd say in 3 days of doing Gollux, you'll get around 100 mil for every 3 days. So it's actually a very, very, very reliable method of making money. So I highly recommend doing it. And if you're really confused about the Gollux bossing, because the boss does have a lot of different attacks, my recommendation is go on YouTube and look at other people fight Gollux. Okay, so the next method that I want to talk about is one of my favorite methods for teaching beginners, and this is the method of selling holy symbol and Kishin services. And the reason why it's my favorite method in that sense is because it teaches you how to network. It's one of the biggest chapters in my merch guide, networking. And the thing about this method is, I don't want to give you guys shitty methods about just making money, because really, I could tell you like, go abuse events, go do the unique potential scroll, you'll make 20 bill, or any of that crap. The thing is, if I tell you those methods, you're not really going to learn anything. You're just going to make some money and be like, oh, I still don't know shit, but I have money. So the thing is, I want to teach you guys, and that's what's important. Now, about Kishin and HS service, the thing is very simple. Somebody has to go first. And this is really dipping your toes in the water, because as a merchant, I can confidently say that I have to talk with people every single day. And this service teaches you something that's it's invaluable, in the sense that as a merchant, you need to know this. You need to communicate with people. And this is a very low stake thing, because if you do get scammed while selling the service, you don't actually lose that much. You lose 1 hour of your life, which is better than losing like 10 billion mesos later on in the future because you're an idiot. So if you get scammed now, don't worry, just learn from your mistakes. So in reality, 50 mil per hour is quite slow, but the thing about this method is it teaches you something. Because again, as I said, you can abuse events and make 5 times the amount of money at first, but you don't learn shit from abusing events. Teaching yourself these concepts is one of the most important things, because it helps you grow. So yes, this is a very simple method. It's just selling Kishin, selling HS. But the reason why I'm putting so much emphasis in this is because it's networking. You communicate with people and you learn these things. So it's one of my favorite methods in that sense. So definitely learn how to talk with people. And I know I didn't highlight that much about the actual selling services. I'm talking about, once again, concepts. But I will leave 2 links in this video. The top link is about Kishin, and the bottom link is about Holy Symbol. So this is courtesy of Mike, the Great Bolshi. So thank you again, Mike. Okay, so the next money-making method has to deal with selling FM spots. And with your store permit, you can sell spots. Simple, easy, and effective. Okay, so beyond that, I always want to give methods that not only make you money, but once again teach you something. So let's talk about selling spots. What can selling spots do for you? Well, there's selling spots which really can't do much for you, sadly, but there's something else you can do with it instead. You can share your spots with people, and sharing your spots with people can go even further. And you're not going to make money from it, but you'll make friendships from it. And the thing about making friendships is it opens new gateways to other possibilities. For example, if you share your spots and you befriend some people from a famous or giant guild, you can really get into that guild. When you befriend them and you talk to them, they like you, they think you're funny, they think you're a good person, you can get into their guild. And the thing is, if you want to share spots with somebody, don't make it seem like, oh, I'm so thirsty, here, take this spot, I really like you, I want to be your friend. Like, don't do it like that. Like, if you're sharing spots with somebody, make sure to appear, like a good person, but also make sure to communicate with them and actually talk to them and joke around with them and be friends with them. So sharing spots is good in the sense that you can join a big guild, you can make friends, you can also get vouchers to help you with your trades, but also you can gain people's trust, so you can do NX trades and all that other kind of stuff. But one other thing you can do with sharing spots, for example, if you have to go to school and you can't get an FM spot because the server check ends at a bad or inconvenient time for you, if you perhaps ask one of your friends who you shared spots with in the past, and you ask them like, hey, can you get me a spot, they might just get your back and you might just get an FM spot even if you couldn't log in. So in that sense, sharing spots can really go a long way. But if you only want to just sell your spot for some quick cash, that's cool to do also. But I highly recommend using this method to actually make friends and to be positive with other people. Okay, so the last money-making method has to do with events. And this is a really, I guess you can say it's a touchy subject, in the fact that it depends on how you're doing it. It's a very long explanation, so I'll cut it down for you guys. Basically, throughout this whole entire video, I kept on talking about not only making money, but also learning how to make money. And I feel like learning is more important. So with events, some of the things that you can do during events is very, I guess you can say, it makes you money, but it doesn't teach you anything. And at first it sounds attractive to just make money, but then eventually you realize you didn't learn anything, and because of that you don't actually grow. So as a merchant, you want to grow faster and faster and faster, and that's by gaining knowledge and not just by gaining money. So it sounds a little bit counterintuitive in that sense, but yeah, depending on what event you're doing, it really depends, because some of the events that you do, for example, you can be very, very resourceful, and you can really, figure things out, and in that sense, it can actually really teach you to think outside of the box. But in another sense, if you're just blindly abusing one event, it's not going to teach you anything. So it really depends on what kind of event. Definitely you do want to think about it. If you put a lot of thought into like the method that you're going to use, like for example, there's like I don't know, just a hypothetical example. There's an event store and there's a new item that came out, and perhaps like there's, I don't know, something you can probably use the event store, do something with the new item, and sell that item that you scrolled with or whatever. And if it's something like that, yeah, definitely do it. It can actually teach you how to be more resourceful. But if you're just blindly abusing an event, just going over and over and over and over, it's not actually going to teach you anything. So depending on what the event is, some of them I actually encourage you to do. Other events I don't encourage you to do it. Okay guys, so I hope you enjoyed episode 2 of Project Merge. I know this guide, the sound quality was going up and down, and I also promised to upload this on Tuesday to a couple people, and right now it's Thursday. So I apologize for uploading it late. I will try to figure things out. I had some technical difficulties, but things should be going better and faster now. Episode 3 of the merch guide will be on 2 other big topics, the first one being learning and understanding prices. Learning prices is more general, but understanding prices is again more concept based and more abstract. So I will teach you guys how to price check godly items and price check and all those other kinds of things. And also we will talk about flip merchanting, which is buying an item and selling it for hire, which I did diss in episode 1, but it is also important for learning how to merch. So yeah, stay tuned for episode 3. I will get that out as soon as possible, and I hope you guys enjoyed this guide. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys later.